Hey Gemini, welcome back to As Above, So Below Healing Tarot. If you're new here, my name is Tiffany, and this is going to be a year ahead spread for the sign of Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So meditating on your energies, I was hearing breaking generational curses and moving with the flow. And this year is going to be a lot of forward momentum. And I think that it's going to be having a similar theme to what we were learning last year, but this is really going to be closing out all of the things that you have been learning up until now, because you have had a tumultuous past few years, Gems, and this year is going to be really enlightening, and it's going to, I'm seeing like a door being smashed, like you're just going to smash down the doors and the obstacles. So love this for you. And Geminis, if you are looking for a personal reading, the link for it is in the description box below. I would love to personally read for you guys. And I will be having a new moon ritual in the sign of Capricorn on January 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via Zoom. We're going to be making money bowls. We're going to be really evaluating our worthiness surrounding abundance and worth. So this is going to be looking at any sort of blocks that you're having pertaining to how you make money, how you really attract abundance in your life. So if that sounds of interest to you, link for it is also in the description box. So, all right, Gems, first out, you have growth. So I'm hearing like spinning in circles. I feel like you've been spinning in circles for the past few years, and it's had you return to some lessons that you have thought that you closed out, thought that you learned, but this year is all about growth. It's about really kind of taking the bull by the horns and moving forward and really putting the past behind you. And then at the bottom of the deck, you have spiritual cleansing. Yeah, so again, you guys have had a rough couple years, and it is now going to be reset. This is going to be a time for you to come back to self, and it doesn't necessarily feel like you are really seeking like love from somebody else or some sort of partnership. This theme is really centered around you and how you can come back to you and the things that you love and you enjoy. I'm a Gemini moon, so I totally understand this. And all of the mutable signs have been having an interesting time with Saturn being in Pisces, but that is officially leaving in February. And then Neptune is moving out of Pisces this month on the 26th and moving into Aries. So that is going to give a lot of action to dreams moving forward. So, but we're going to see what's happening for you guys. All right, Spirit, what else is here for Gemini for 2026? What else is going on for my gems? We've got the Hermit. Yeah, so this is, again, coming back to self, coming back to the inner workings of you. And I really like this card because it's really feeling like she is balancing the home while also doing her inner healing, her inner landscape work. And with this, she has like a kiddo down at her feet, and then she has the phone up at top. So I feel like you guys are balancing like kids, family life, and it's really asking you to have like a routine, have a structure, and also make sure that you are implementing that self-care into your routines, because you have to make sure that you are up to snuff when you are, taking care of everything and everybody. So Spirit, what other themes are here for Gemini? We've got new beginnings and rest and retreat. Yeah, so there's a lot of themes surrounding rest and receive and also growing. So it's a simultaneous, like you are pulling back from the familiar things and you are giving seeds to new opportunities, new growth, and you're going to kind of see where it lands. And then you have awareness here. Yeah. So I feel like there's a big crown chakra opening and there's a lot of third eye activation that's going to be taking place for you this year. And I feel like a lot of you are recognizing that what you have been doing either isn't as sustainable as it used to be, or you have outgrown something. And that can be a hard realization to come to, Gems, because especially if the things that you are doing at one time fulfilled you and now they are not. So it feels like you are doing a deep dive into the inner workings of you. So that's pretty awesome. All right, we're going to get some cards out for each month and we're going to see where we go from there. So, all right. Spirit, what does January look like? February, March, April, May, June, July. You have the Hermit twice in your reading. August, September. You also have a lot of major arcanas in your reading, which this is a heavy theme. And it means that there's a lot of soul growth taking place here for you guys. And December, yeah, okay. All right, Gems, bottom of the deck, you have the 10 of Wands. So this is pointing to a completion. This is pointing to an end of a tumultuous time, an end to some sort of heavy battle that you've been fighting. And it's, again, ending the generational baggage, curses, whatever. But you can see that she is like over the hill. And now she is onto a new suit, a new journey. So we have the 2 of Wands here in January. So for me, this feels like a reflective energy. And it also is looking like you may be planning your adventurous side, you know, your futures, your what you want to really bring into your world. And this is a big expansion card. This doesn't necessarily mean that the action has been taken towards expansion, but you're strategizing it. You are really looking at your life as a whole and seeing, where do I really need to shift? Where do I need to change? And where do I need to pivot my energies to bring more growth, more happiness, more fulfillment? And in February, you have the King of Swords. So this is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. But I think that you are getting a lot of clarity in February surrounding the path ahead. And this can also be due to relationships and how you are pertaining to other people, like friends, family, lovers. And you may have a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius around you, but this is a very like objective energy. So this is a head over heart sort of thinking process. And you may come to the realization that you may have to do some uncomfortable things to get where you are wanting to go. And that's okay. March, you have the 2 of Cups. So there's some sort of union taking place, some sort of partnership, collaboration. But there's another energy here that is fusing with yours. And again, if this is, you know, another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, this could be you guys kind of taking it a little bit further. But I really feel like this is more like a merging with your higher self, with your passions, with the things that you want to do. And I'm also getting that there's some sort of big, like, nourishing creative project that you want to bring out into the world more. And in April, you have the 4 of Wands. So this is success. This is celebration. You actually have a pretty good year ahead of you. But this is like seize the day, you know? And they are really making music together. They are celebrating their wins. And I think that there's more of that this year than there has been in the past. And that's a really big theme for you, Gemini, is celebrate your wins, celebrate your successes. Because I think that you have been in a period of time where you have been like in survival mode, and it's felt heavy, it's felt draining, and now you're like, I have to focus on the good, otherwise I'm going to drown, and I need to get my spark back. I need to, you know, be that vivacious person that perhaps I used to be before life knocked me down, you know. But this is, it feels like it's returning to you, and you are really about to kind of go on more of those adventurous things that you want to do. Again, perhaps travel, festivals, music, anything that makes you feel alive, Gemini. And in May, around your birthday, you have the star. This is the when you wish upon a star energy. And this is also like being seen and being heard and really putting yourself out there. Like you are shining bright around your birthday month. And this is all about like putting your dreams out there for the universe to send back to you. So I feel like you guys are growing closer with understanding how the universe works. And you're also dropping the thought that you have to work and grind until you die in order to get something that you want. It really is as simple as talking to the universe and saying, I want that thing. And lo and behold, you start to get glimmers of it coming to you. I think that you're starting to believe in that more, Jen. And in June, you have the Hierophant reversed. So to me, this feels like something that you are laying down. Typically upright, the Hierophant is about commitments. It's Taurus energy. It can also be about spiritual matters, but with it being in reverse, this is you dropping something that is no longer working, something that is more draining your energy than helping you. And this could be a job, this can be a partnership, a connection. I'm going to get further deep down in the details when I clarify, but this feels like you are releasing some sort of burden in order to move forward because it is hindering you. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles underneath that. So this may feel like career, but we'll see as we move deeper into the tarot. Okay, so July, around Leo season, we have the Hermit. So to me, it feels almost as though like you figure something out to where you're like, oh, I need more time to myself. I need more time to rest and rejuvenate. You have a lot of these themes coming up in your reading. And you have two hermits and you have the rest and retreat card here. So again, this is really pulling back and pulling inwards and shining that light inwards to you. And I know that it can be like tempting to go off and to look at things outside of you and be like, ooh, that's a shiny thing. I want that, you know? But really, this is like pulling yourself back and knowing that if you are manifesting, manifest from a space of clarity instead of distraction. And in August, you have the Devil. So something will be tempting you. Something will be really kind of making you feel drawn in or lured in. And this could be Capricorn energy. You may be meeting a Capricorn, but there's something here that is asking for you to release attachment to before you get attached and then feeling more bound. In September, you have the Three of Wands. So really moving into a new chapter, moving into a new cycle and moving like in this water. She is moving in the flow. She is moving into uncharted waters and really embracing this new cycle. October, you have the Six of Wands. Yeah, so you're doing something and you are receiving recognition. You are receiving credit for whatever it is that you're doing. You know, you're really putting yourself out there, Gemini, and it's being rewarded. It's being seen. It's being recognized for what it is that you're doing. November, you have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, so this is like total creative spark. This is you getting on your horse and riding, you know, whether that's motorcycles or literally horses. You're beating your own drum. You're moving at your own rhythm because you have dropped something and you feel free, you feel expansive, and you feel like you can take on the world. So that's beautiful. December, you have the Judgment card with the Queen of Cups. So to me, this feels like you could be dealing with a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, or you have a lot of people in this reading, or you are looking at the ways that you are filling yourself up. It's almost like a redirection energy, I feel. Like the Judgment is making judgment calls towards a heart-centered theme. So we're gonna get a little deeper here, Gem, and see what's going on. Happy Capricorn season. All right, Spirit. What is going on here with this Two of Wands in January? Wow. Six of Swords. Yeah, this feels like big travel energy here. And you could be looking and seeing like the ways that you haven't traveled or the ways that you have said no to something. But you're really being asked to kind of take a leap of faith and to redirect your energy towards expansion instead of comfort. You have the Fool and the Six of Swords. So again, this doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be moving, but I do feel like there is some sort of move, whether it is in career or you could physically be moving or thinking about that. But because you have the Six of Swords, which is traveling, with the Fool and the Two of Wands, this could be like a strategic move. This could be you thinking, contemplating about like, how are we going to make this happen? You know, I think that you're feeling the inner stirrings of that and you're really wanting a fresh new start. You're wanting a fresh new beginning in your life. In February, you have the King of Swords. What's going on with this King of Swords, Spirit? Ooh, Ace of Pentacles with strength. Love this. Cool. Yeah. So if this is a creative opportunity, a creative venture, I really do feel like you are you're getting out of your comfort zone to say like, how can I actually make this shit happen? How can I do the things that I've been talking about doing or do the things that I've been seeking to do for quite some time, you know? And this is like, how am I going to, you know, have the brain space to make this a thing? And in the Ace of Pentacles, we see here that there's a portal, but it's not yet walked into. So this is potential. This is a potential lucrative opportunity, but it takes you to walk through that portal. It takes you having the strength to say, yeah, I'm going to do it and we'll see what happens, you know? And I think that's why there's a lot of hermit energy here. Like you're keeping something to yourself. You're keeping it quiet because you don't want to taint the energy. You don't want any outsiders throwing the evil eye at you, which is totally valid. And you want to make sure that you have all of the resources, all of the mental bandwidth to actually do something. So this can also represent some sort of like legality thing. So you may be signing paperwork, signing documents, think taxes, you know, stuff like that. And maybe that's why you haven't done the thing, is because you have been a little afraid of the whole like legislative process of things, the whole like paperwork side of things. Maybe you had some back taxes or something like that, you know, like this is you saying, I'm gonna do it, even if, you know, it's not gonna be easy. I need to have the strength to walk through this portal. Cool. Love it, Jim. All right, Spirit, what's going on with this Two of Cups? What's happening with this Two of Cups? All right. You have the Lovers. And you have Temperance. Okay, so this very well could be you entering into some sort of union, some sort of partnership. And you have Temperance here. So this could be like Sagittarius energy, but you are not rushing this. This feels like I'm going to take this slow because I've been burned in the past by crazy fire, you know? And there is a big merge that is wanting to happen for you. And you, again, I feel some hesitancy here, but focusing on the things that are productive and focusing on, like, it's really reshaping your mind frame, Gemini. I think that there's a big shift in growing in that sense. And it's accepting that things don't have to be like all or nothing. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, like this person has to give me everything that I want or they're a no. You know, I feel like you're mentally maturing, which is a beautiful thing. In April, you have the Four of Wands. Spirit, why is the Four of Wands here? Why is the Four of Wands here?